Question 1. In what ways does your media production use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? We challenged the conventions in our trailer by there's a sort of sexist idea that women aren't powerful or scary usually in horror films. It's usually a male killer. So we made Dammy, our female killer, and me, the victim, to make me seem more vulnerable throughout. Like for instance, in a horror film, usually a woman will be running, she'll trip, and then the male killer will get her. But we didn't do that. We obviously.
Hello there. Now, I'm sure that over your riveting career as an examiner, you've seen many a video where awkward teenagers stood in front of the camera with a piece of paper and answered the questions which you yourself provided for us. But not this time. Hello. Hi there. Morning. Simmer down. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to talk to you today about Desolation. It's a project that me and a few others have been working on, and I'm here basically to promote it and to answer any questions that you have. So, let's begin. Can I have the first question, please? Good question. Thank you. I feel that as a group we sort of challenged the conventions regarding horror and media. For instance, in most horrors, women are portrayed as weak and male characters tend to be much more braver or stronger, and the killers tend to be male, in fact. In our film, we had the killer as female because we wanted to challenge this sort of sexist ideology surrounding horror films. That's what, for instance, you'll see in horrors this classic scene where a woman will run, usually in a woodland area, trip, and then the killer will get her and she'll scream and then she'll die. We didn't do that because we thought it was sexist to portray women in such a way. So that's why the victim is male and the killer is female. Similarly, in our poster, we challenged the convention surrounding that because if you notice in most posters, there tends to be quite low-key lighting and there can be quite a lot of gore. For instance, Saw used this and so do the Hostel franchise, both do this. And also, for instance, if you look at the Friday the 13th poster, it's Jason Voorhees, the killer, holding a machete and a mask, in a sort of low-key lighting with a woodland area behind him, and just the tagline, "Welcome to Crystal Lake," and obviously the title in this. And we decided to go against this. That's why we had, instead of the killer, we had the victim, and even though there was gore on my face, it's low-key lighting on it and high-key lighting on the other side. So we thought that this was probably the best way to do it, to really challenge horror. We also used the victim in our magazine front cover, and for this we didn't really challenge per se, but rather we developed on the conventions. We actually took a Empire front cover which had Harry Potter on the front, and it had a similar sort of shot to the one we had used, and we followed the structure of this for our magazine front cover but reversed it onto the opposite sides and gave it a more horror tone. But overall I think that the idea throughout was to challenge what happens in contemporary media regarding horror. Can I have the next question? Thank you, good question. I think we were quite effective in the combination of our main product and ancillary text. I think they worked quite well. Like they did complement each other with the idea of, there was mainly the victim shown, which was sort of an idea that we carried throughout these. And I think there was a continuity to it. It really worked, and I think that's what we wanted to do. We didn't want it to seem patchy. Like, if you notice, just off the top of my head, The Dark Knight, when that came out, the posters all had this similar theme, and even the trailers, and everything that you saw was related in a similar theme, and I think that's what we wanted to do regarding our text and our products. Who's next? We got a number of different responses regarding our audience feedback, which we can show you now.
What do you think of our poster?
I like it. I think it's very mysterious, the way the model is looking up into the distance, and then with this line on top where it says some places are abandoned for a reason, it's kind of like mysterious. I like it, yeah.
Okay. What can we do to improve it?
I think the model could look a bit more scary, because like he's kind of wearing like normal clothes. The only thing that looks a bit scary is like the blood or the makeup. So maybe there could be something more going on with like his costume.
Okay. What would this poster attract your attention?
Yes, I think it would, but I wouldn't think it was a horror. I think it'd be more of a thriller, because the background's a bit empty a little bit, so maybe there could be a bit more in the background.
Right, and thank you. What did you think about the trailer?
I thought the trailer was good, and I could notice that it followed conventions of like horror trailers, because it was quite dark and it was quite gloomy, and yeah, it was very like catchy, and I was paying attention all the way through.
Would you be more interested in watching this film after seeing this teaser trailer?
Yeah, I would, because it carries some ambiguity to it, and it interests me to know like what it's about.
Any advice or suggestions on how to improve the teaser trailer?
I'd advise that they change the music, because I don't think the music was very effective, and it didn't really work with it, and it was a bit repetitive. It was repetitive basically, so I'm advised to change the music.
Right then, thank you.
Welcome.
What do you think of the magazine?
I think the magazine looks quite effective. I like the name of it as well, the masthead, bloodshed, and what's it called, the subheadings. They are different colours, so obviously this makes this stand out from the photography and the text as well. What I like about the photography is that he doesn't directly look at the camera, so he's probably looking at something that could be actually like a piece of shot of the film. So I quite like that as well. And I like, I think the behind the scenes shot and that, so I like that, because people that are interested into it, they will look forward to have that in the magazine.
Okay. What could we do to improve the magazine front cover?
What you could have done is, you could have perhaps wrote something there, but there's really not much to say that could be improved, because you use the space effectively according to the photography. So it was well used to put on that side around that side. We don't want to hide the face. Then it's a nice place to put like the barcode, so that you don't want it to be too visible as well. So it's good.
Yeah. Would this magazine attract your attention in a shot?
Yeah, you'll attract my attention, because I'm interested in a lot of film magazines, so I'll be interested. Looking forward to it.
Perfect. Good.
All right then.
Sorry, guys. Chelsea.
We use different media technologies in the different stages of our production. For instance, during the research stage, we used YouTube to look for teaser trailers, such as Outpost, and we used Google to search for different posters of movies. During planning, we did test shots, and we looked at other trailers yet again, and we made our own trailer, which in theory was meant to work, but in practice actually didn't. And for production, we used a Canon EOS 7D, and we used different lights for photography. And we also used Final Cut Pro for our post-production. Okay, I think that's everything, so have a nice day.